The Wrestling Mayhem Show. Since 2006, the pioneer in pro wrestling podcasting.
This show is brought to you by IndieWrestling.us and IndieWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza.
Just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you have to do, make it last. Wait for the perfect time.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Wrestling Mayhem Show 977 Tuesdays. We've been talking about professionalized wrestling, building the plane as we're flying it, obviously, if you're on visuals. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron in Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, PA, back with you live on a Tuesday night. Hope you guys enjoyed our discussion with Brianna Bands that we had actually before the 880 wrestling show, Harvest Moon, wasn't it? I think. The announcer in front of me will tell me that, I think, because they probably said it a lot over that week. But we had a lot of fun with that and a lot of great responses to the clips we've been putting out over the last week on social media. So, and really looking forward to having her on the show in the future as well. So, but in the meantime, all my regulars are gone, guys. All my co-hosts are off doing other things, being parents, being sleepy, having flights in the morning. But that's okay, because we got a talker with us. And by the talker, I mean, of course, intern Tony is with us here.
Hello.
Hello. He's watched some WWE, some conversations, but also we have our guest, our main event guest for this week. Let me get this right. 880's most elite announcer. I think we've been going by, right? Austin Cairns is with us.
You know it. It's good to be here, Sorg.
There you go. Wait. We got to put our title in the corner. We're just going to make it most elite for this episode.
Most elite.
Most elite. Go there you go. So thank you for making the Elite Mayhem show. So you had an experience. We'll talk about it later in the show, but if you saw the image for the show or anything like that, you did get to have quite an experience at an AEW Dynamite here in the Pittsburgh area. You got to the announcer desk. You got to meet a Tony and a Daniel. And
I was in places that I should not have been. Long story short.
Hey, that's being backstage at a wrestling show, right? You know, I love that's the headline. I was places I definitely should not have been. So I don't know that did he wander through catering when he wasn't supposed to, or just I should not be here right now. But that's a good vibe, and we're going to talk about that and everything. But of course, we want to talk about what's going on in the world. Myself, I've been on the road, so I did the crash course on what happened with WWE television in the last week. Watch the top 10s on YouTube to get the idea what's happening. Catching up on the news with the Crown. I keep wanting to call it Crown Royal. That's not right. There was just some Crown Royal incidents over the weekend. Not what you think when I say something like that. But anyways, so we do have, this is in Australia. Crown Jewel is now the champion versus champion show, where we get an even bigger championship belt and a ring, I think we get now too. Or was it a trophy? I can't remember what we have here. But we're in Perth, Australia. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be interesting. Austin, what's your vibe? We got Cody versus Seth. We got Tiffany versus Stephanie on this one. Do you like this concept?
I mean, the concept's interesting this time around. I'm not going to lie. I'm really excited for that women's tag match with Asuka and IYO and Rhea. I really like the way they've been building it on Monday Night Raw. And I don't know if you saw this or not. Did you see that Alabama slam that Kairi Sane, I think it was, delivered to IYO SKY on Monday Night Raw? Did you see that?
No, I didn't catch that one. No.
Oh my God, it was brutal.
I caught the elbow. The assisted insane elbow.
Yeah,
it's been so wicked looking the last few weeks they've been doing that.
Yeah, no, it's been crazy. But no, I mean, card seems pretty stacked this time around. I mean, they need to have a banger show after that disaster of WrestlePalooza. So yeah, they got to come out swinging for this one.
And I know by all accounts, even ESPN saying that it was a C grade show.
Yeah.
Was it really that much of a disaster? Like what made it such a disaster? To me, I just watched it after the fact, so there was a little bit of bloom out the rose watching it anyways. So I don't feel like I had a good read on it. Because I think we had a show, spoiled a couple of winners by the time I got to it on social media the next day. But what was so bad about this? Because like the Brock devastation, or
I feel like it was the Brock devastation, but it was also like the card placement. Your first ever appearance on ESPN in that regard, you have a squash match to start things off with Lesnar and Cena for their last time. So I feel like that was kind of what set the tone early on. But it's not like really any of the matches were bad per se. I actually really like Stephanie Valkyria and IYO SKY's match. I thought that was
it was very good.
That was a really good match. But I just feel like for your first time on ESPN, the stakes were not met in that regard.
No, I mean, having Brock obviously has a little can of worms with it, with weird vibes over some of his allegations and everything with that. And to what we know, that's the only appearance. That's what we did. That was the finale. We're going out the way we started with him destroying him. Which taking out all the other stuff, I don't know, story wise, that kind of makes sense to me. Honestly, I was like, well, greatest hits when it comes to that. But yeah, I don't know. It just seemed like kind of like, hey, we kind of, between that, you had AJ Lee's return in the match. That was a big deal. So you can't say it didn't have big, for the people that wanted to see, oh, wow, AJ Lee's back. Oh, hey, Brock's back. And they don't know or care about the other stuff. And there's some people that don't know. Like don't shame anybody for cheering for Brock Lesnar, because they may literally not read those stories.
That is true.
So I can't broadly fault the audience for being behind this. But the smart marks know,
it's so cool seeing AJ Lee back too in WWE with CM Punk and everything.
Yes, without the baggage.
And you got to give all the props to Seth and Becky on that too. I mean, they're the ones that's really MVPs of the story here. They really put AJ over in this. No,
it was great. It was a lot of fun. And it's great. I think we kind of dropped her off after that match, so I'm hoping she pops up again. I didn't expect her to be a full-timer.
No.
But I mean, pop up WrestleMania or Survivor Series or something, right? So, but that was great. She looked great out there. She seemed to be having a great time. And I think that's what's important. Then we're having a great time, So, from T-Pop is in the chat room joining us as usual. WWE's been doing better job lately about building up storylines outside of the title pictures. This is true.
That's a good point.
IYO, Kairi, Asuka, Rhea situation. This whole Usos, Punk, and guy.
LA Knight.
Yeah, I kept wanting to say Eli Drake. I'm like, no. I've been watching a lot of the Cody interview stuff where he's talking about earlier in his career, so I keep thinking Eli Drake, not La Knight. It's French.
Could have said Max Dupree.
Oh, Dupree! Yes. Related, MXM collection popped up. We had Collision on here. We're trying to catch up a little bit before the shows, and they're tremendous. They're just absolutely tremendous.
Hilarious.
So, and then he got destroyed by the Callis family. So, but yeah, no, I'm into this. I'm loving the Asuka triangle situation that's going on there. I think that's like we're getting. There's always a clamoring for, can we get the Black Lotus tribe versus Penta again, like in Lucha Underground? But like we're getting bits and pieces of that. We're getting reminded why, this is why these women were like awesome in Japan, and they get to play together, right? This has been really fun.
For sure. No, and Asuka, I mean, she's just been on an absolute roll because she was down for that injury for, what was it, like 7-8 months or whatever? And then she came back, and we all thought she was just going to be kind of thrown into like the whole Kabuki Warrior storyline again, or Damage Control or whatever, just in a random tag team. But no, she's coming to her own now. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, they're giving her a lot of space to do her thing. I love that they let them use their own language.
Yeah.
And sometimes they'll subtitle, and sometimes they just let them go. And I think that's one of the cool things is you don't need to understand the language to understand what's happening. Right. Some of us that watched New Japan before they had everything had English commentators, before Kevin Kelly was there all the time, before Walker was there all the time. And we're just like, I don't know what's going on. Like Matt Carnes would call on the show and be like, I don't know what's going on, but I kind of know what's going on. But I love the energy.
No, I mean, they had a backstage segment on Raw where like Asuka was talking to Kairi, and Kairi was like, I don't know if I want to go out there. It's IYO. And then Asuka said a bunch of stuff and slapped the hell out of her. I don't know what she said, but I mean, I got the vibe. I got the energy.
Yeah, you got the story.
Yeah.
So, and I love that. That's I feel like that is trusting your audience too, and not thinking they're idiots, right? And that's a really cool thing. So, John Cena, AJ Styles. Oof. No build, no story. They may have had one face-to-face, right?
I don't think so.
No? I thought they had one early on, but John hasn't even been on TV the last few weeks. And we're having this supposedly based on a tweet. I think it happened. So that's tremendous. AJ, we know, is on his own kind of retirement tour too. Primus says he might be next WrestleMania and he's out, kind of thing. He's been really kind of low key about it, but like says it's happening. I love that this is happening because it was like the beat up John Cena. Too bad they never made a shirt. He was lamenting about that recently on an interview. I mean, I'm here for it because I think those guys will have a lot of fun. I mean, you're already seeing John pull out everybody's moves in the middle of matches, you know, between Edge and who else did he do?
Yeah, pop-up powerbomb.
Pop-up powerbomb for Kevin Owens and
He even
things
hit
like
an end
that.
of days too.
Mm-hmm. The best sequence is seeing him do the Edge style spear and then watching the AEW, it was all out pay-per-view, and Edge does the "You Can't See Me." And the entire crowd is in on it. Hearing "You Can't See Me" in an AEW pay-per-view was so wild. So it's a beautiful thing that's happening. It's like you can talk about the you know, maybe flubs or not with the heel Cena story. I loved going for the ride personally. In retrospect, obviously, like it got weird at the end. Oh, we're just a face. Oh, okay. But it still was interesting. You know,
it was very interesting too. I'm just curious on how they're going to do these last 5 dates because it's only 5 left. You get 3 events and then 2 Monday Night Raws. That's really
something
about
like
it.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just
Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, it's Saturday night
We're
main
getting
event.
one.
You got Survivor Series. You got 2 Raws and then Perth.
Mhm.
Or not Perth. Australia.
It's
So
almost it, man. It's
Yeah.
almost it. The last few chances.
it's crazy.
Then you got Roman and Bronson. I love that they respond to as the Bronze. Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker.
Tribal Chief, Tribal Thief.
Tribal Thief. Bronson Reed is just so coming into his own on this stuff right now. It's tremendous. So did I? And again, I'm just catching kind of the last part of it here. So Roman just showed up to like, hey, I'm going to fight your ass again, basically, right? But you steal a man's shoes, he will not stop coming after you. That's what we learned from this storyline.
That is crossing the line. You do not
Mhm.
take another man's shoes.
So, anyways, we do have somebody popping in. We have a lifeline coming in here. I think we've unmuted. No, here we'll unmute him now. Mad Mike, are you with us?
Aha.
Oh, you blew out Zoom.
That was
with whatever
me
that
saying
was.
Rapidu, because
Rapidu, yes. We were just going over the Crown Jewel lineup here with our new friend Austin.
Hi, Austin.
My and Mike,
Mad
this is
Mike.
Austin.
What's up?
Austin got to meet Tony Khan a couple weeks ago, and we're
Fantastic.
going to talk about that a
You've
little
gotten to
later.
meet Tony Khan. I've gotten to meet Triple
I'm sure
H.
you have.
It's all Dutch door action.
That's right. I'm sure you've also been places you weren't supposed to be
I've always
before.
places I'm not supposed to be.
That's the theme of today.
We'll talk about those on Patreon. But anyways, but so yeah, before we go to the Patreon shout outs here, Mike, I want to get your thoughts on this Crown Jewel, how it's shaping up in Australia this weekend. And also love your, what is that, a 5 a.m. start time for
Yeah,
our
that's
friends on the
not
West Coast.
stellar. That's not stellar Skarsgård, but you know, it is what it is. It's Australia time.
Mhm.
Crown Jewel is interesting. I think the card is pretty good. Me
Mhm.
personally, I wouldn't have done Cena and AJ. I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Because I caught what you guys were saying a little bit. There's only 5 days left. There's not a lot. I'd prefer Cena going in there with someone who he hasn't tangled with. I had this idea, this fantasy pie in the sky booking, where John Cena would come out on a Raw, and he would say, "You know, I've done pretty much everything that I could do in my career. The one thing I never had the opportunity to do is to go after the Intercontinental Championship." And Judgment Day comes out, and Dom says, "Listen, I'm king of the cruiserweights. You're not even coming near me or anything like that." And you know, they have a back and forth and all that stuff. And Dom says, "Oh, you have history with my family." And Cena has no idea what he's talking about. And Cena's like, "All right, fine. Well, if you're not willing to put your title on the line, I guess I'll just have to Go after someone else. And as Cena leaves the arena, Judgment Day beat him down. And then you get Dom saying, I will give you a shot at the Intercontinental title in a parking lot brawl.
Just like your old dad, Eddie Guerrero, back in the day. Yes, I looked that up while you were saying. I was like, "Oh,
just
this
like
is,
dear old
oh."
dad." And then the best thing is Cena can beat the crap out of Dom. He can beat the crap out of Finn. He can beat the crap out of JD. And then Brock Lesnar shows up. F5 Cena onto a car. Dom hits a frog splash from one car onto the other, just like Eddie, to beat Cena. I think it would be perfect, but we're not doing that.
I'm here. You're not slipping any notes under anybody's doors anymore for that one. No, I like the play. I like the play for that, and I think as again watching clips from Raw and seeing that you have what Penta and all those people across from him in that match, and they're still chanting for Dominic. The energy he has is so tremendous.
Turns face, it's going to be the biggest thing in the world.
You know what? Him turning face is not him turning face. He's going to be one of those guys, think Stone Cold, where he literally doesn't change anything he does. But will just Eddie. Like or Eddie. Or Eddie or Ric Flair eventually.
Crap at people. It just depended on who he was aimed at.
Yes.
He's just going to be Eddie. And
yes.
Everyone should be okay with that.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Maybe he gets detached from Judgment Day because that writing's been on the wall for like a year now, it feels. So it was like, man, Finn, you just keep fucking with him. What are you doing? You know, you're just going to keep fucking with him. Is this just your favorite pastime right now? Or are we actually going to move on with something like this? Right. So, you know what? Finn Balor versus Dominic for the Mega Championship would be tremendous. Why not? Right. So he's practically a luchador. He's got that damn puppet. You know, I guess he does have his own feud, doesn't he, with that puppet?
He's definitely lucha adjacent.
Jeez. He definitely is lucha. He probably spent some time down there on his career trajectory, right? Has to have been.
Yeah.
Has to have been, right? Anyways, thank you everybody that does. Again, that's this weekend. We'll talk more about it next week, obviously. So everybody, get up, get your Cheerios, warm up some Pop-Tarts and some coffee, apparently, and 8 a.m., 5 a.m., depending on which coast you're on, and everything in the between. So hey, cool. You know, but again, I think most people are going to watch on demand.
From Australia,
you have access to it.
There's one thing I've been waiting to say for weeks.
We already know that the toilets go the other way.
Sorg, do you know who wrestled in NXT? From
I am not aware of that, actually.
From another company.
Mm-hmm.
They used to be in WWE. You could say they're... My girls are back.
Iconic.
My girls are back.
Yes. Your girls are back. Are they iconic?
They're introduced as the inspiration, but they came out to their iconic theme song.
So
because we are petty and we don't want to give Harley Cameron any credit. But guess what? I'm okay with it. That's
so sad. Could you have imagined if Harley Cameron stuck around and they found
Harley
something
Cameron,
for her to
I don't
do?
think was ever really employed.
I thought she was a
she
performance.
Might have been, but like, she was very WWE adjacent. Like she did stuff with Shotzi. She did stuff with Woods.
Scarlett.
Yeah, like I don't think she was ever employed. I think she was just.
We'll have the research department that here in a little bit. If anybody's out there in the chat, or if you have a moment here while I'm doing this next bit. But anyways, in the meantime, let's give a shout out to our Patreon supporters at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. They help keep this show going, helping pay for that server that keeps the podcast out there and everything else around the show. And we do have a Patreon feed that goes all night. You could hear about the really terrible rom-com we did for the Awesome Cast Patreon that we were. Don't leave your video apps logged in at the Airbnb. Make sure you log out of those before you leave, because you never know what diabolical person is going to find the lowest rated rom-coms. It's Katie, it's Daughters, and watch them. And then somebody else is going to log into Betty's YouTube and start watching Star Trek videos and wrestling videos and Chad the Bird, and his stuff. So, just watch out for that. But thank you, everybody that does support the show. Wrestling Mayhem, or patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. Our friends at the Fan Show level. Bo Diggity! Woo! The interns haven't caught on yet. You're supposed to woo with us. Team Hammerfist, Tupac family, Bubba Brewer. Where was I at? Jason French at the Poppy Club level, Dave Propop Bonner, Wrestling Trenchcoat, Tony Kincaid, True Prince of Pro, T-Pop, The Riz, Justin Cleaver, and at the manager level, Bradley. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show at patreon.com. We do typically a Patreon after show when we have the normal scheduling happening. Obviously we didn't, since we were kind of on the road for this last week, as may happen, but we will make up for that tonight. Mike, I think we'll talk about probably Peacemaker spoilers or something, right? So
updates. Yeah.
Ooh, Lego updates. They're not up there on the shelf behind you. Oh, you got a nice turtle line up there though. I see. I finally have you on a good screen so I can see your details. So I'm just looking. I'm just looking at his.
I got to
there. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Do you? I have I got one of them. Ronnie gave me one of those menu guys, and I didn't like. There, it was. I think he had already opened it. Then he gave it to me.
By the way,
okay,
research
whatever.
department.
So
Harley Kim was never part of the PC. She dated
officially
former NXT wrestler Zion Quinn, and that sparked her interest in but she was never part of the PC herself.
Oh, they're just like, hey, you sing, let's do this music video for Halloween.
She did
right?
A music video for the party, which if you haven't seen it, I 10,000% recommend it. It's a song for the party, and she's like, she sings, you know, the baddest boys playing Uno. It's a great song. It's fantastic. But apparently she trained with Breeze and Sean Spears at Flatbacks. So there you go.
Oh, okay. There you go. And there she is. There's a little bit of the video from the Danny Alexos.
And she did
so.
I believe she did the I'll Put a Spell on You with Shotzi and Scarlett. She did that too. And then she did obviously the Inspirations theme song. And now she is currently being wasted in AEW because she should be a champion. She should be a champion, Sorg. She should be a champion.
Yes, she should be a champion. Oh, she should be at least in line to be a champion. I will give you that. But I mean, Puppet Moné came up again as potentially tagging with Mercedes. So I mean, we're on a path. And actually, they're setting them up for the women's tag team.
They better
tournament.
Be. Harley Cameron is like, she's.
Mercedes needs that 10th
Harley
belt.
Cameron is like the unsung hero of the AEW women's locker room because she can do anything.
She can be a cat. She can come back to QTV and say, "Roll the footage." She can be. She's a puppeteer, apparently. She's a
singer. Like, she can do anything she sets her mind out to.
She can be part of the most pro-gay segment in like pro wrestling history with Anthony Bowens.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the most pro-gay.
At that on television, yes. I mean, yes, that was like one of the biggest kind of moments, I thought, because we've never had anything like that before. Like we only had Billy and Chuck to look up to up to that point. So a little bit.
No,
Not Orlando
I
Joy.
haven't.
So
Sorg, take your name out of his mouth.
okay, moving on. I'm going to go back to my notes now before I go too far down this road. Andrade is back in AEW, ladies and gentlemen, and I love all the infographics that's talking about the ins and outs of Andrade's career. He got let go for disciplinary, which may be wellness policy, and now he's
If you
just
get
looking buff
wellness
over in
policy
AEW instead.
2025, you're just looking to get fired. Okay, can we all agree on that?
Yeah, like you should
mean,
know by now how
At
that
some
works,
point,
I
you have
guess.
to think it's him. You have to.
Mhm.
You have to think it's him, right?
And it's not that we've heard anything as egregious like that. He's not.
No,
should not
no,
be
it
in a
just
locker
seems
room
like
or anything like that.
Difficult to work
So
with. And he was also one of the people that was pushing for El Patron coming back. And I'm like, no, thank you.
yeah, that's an issue. So but that's WWE's can of words. Not they bought that situation, but I don't know. He's going to be in the Don Callis family, so there's that. They have 1 million people on that team, including a second hologram, Alclonus, I
It's
think it
just
is.
clone.
Sounds like a transformer from the reboot movie.
Clone.
Clone. And he has all the tattoos. It looks nothing like Ares from MLW. Nothing
Isn't
at
hologram
all.
like injured
So,
though?
I
thought Hologram
am
was,
unaware.
Like, a lot injured now.
They beat him up. Oh no, maybe that's why they beat him up a lot, and they hot-shotted the clone guy popping up. So
By the way,
that makes sense if that's the story.
So AEW is doing Title Tuesday tonight, right? I'm looking.
Yes.
They have 2 title matches.
Okay,
Well,
are they
one
big
is
title
a
matches?
Mercedes Open Challenge, and the other is Kyle Fletcher versus Kyle O'Reilly. So let's go, Kyle.
I love the Lights Go Kyle shows.
And there's also a double Jeopardy.
I'm
Eliminator
looking
match,
it up.
which is not a tag team title match between Brodino and Okada and Takeshita.
I think 2 title matches are
I
enough to
don't
call
think
you
it
a
is.
Title Tuesday. I think that's appropriate. Well, I think they're just like, hey, we got stuck on a Tuesday. We're going to call it Title Tuesday. We don't know what's going to happen. Oh, hey, TNA showed up
we're doing
all over
Invasion, and this
NXT.
time it's actually kind of fun.
Well, and aren't they? I've heard complaints about that. Again, I haven't seen the full lineup for it. I'm catching up. I have not watched from No Mercy on, basically, at this point. I live in a world where Obama Femi is still the
Did you say
NXT
Obama
champion,
Femi?
apparently, if I've read the internet right. Obama.
Now let me be clear. I am the ruler of the ring and the NXT champion. That was a terrible Obama, but
Sure.
a very good Obama Femi.
That was, you know what? That wasn't too bad. Yes, seems exactly right. I don't know. I think they just got stuck in a situation now. Everybody's just doing.
Oh, they're building up for Bound for Glory, which is kind of
good
cool.
tonight. So, yeah. So that, and I imagine we're going to still have a lot of NXT. Bound for Glory has to be the
Bound for
TNA
Glory
gets
is
one
when
back
Trick is
show.
losing
Since
that
that's
belt. Absolutely,
basically their WrestleMania.
10,000%. But that's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
That's where it should.
So. No, and I love. There was like some complaints a couple weeks ago about like a terrible NXT show where I think the first like all the TNA guys showed up. Everybody's freaking out because Matt Cardona is there
Which
as
was
Matt Cardona
wild.
and as Zack
I love
Ryder.
that
You
they
know,
called him Matt Cardona. That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
That's good stuff.
But again, it's like you're the TNA thing, right? So, but also there was like some confusion because like some people that are like I think was it Kalani Jordan's the Knockouts champion now? Yeah, I didn't even finish. I don't think I finished the last TNA plus show either. That's why I was waiting for it to get to No Mercy.
Basically, due to everything that happened with Macho Slammovich. I'm pretty sure that's
So there's a lot of stuff there.
We have to change this real quick.
Yeah, and those don't know, there's news that Masha was maybe abusive in a relationship, I guess, and it's under investigation. So there was some hot potato happening around that last what was it,
I believe
Emergence
so,
or
yeah.
Victory Road show that they did. The Victory Show Road show, I got through like probably like half or 3/4 of it, and it was very strange because between that and there was like another change in matches, and it just felt like that indie show you go to where half the people had to cancel because of flights. So
And
like
also
I think we've
didn't,
all been to that indie show, right?
Didn't
So
Dana Brooke have to vacate the title too for health reasons?
yeah, she's injured,
Yeah.
apparently done with wrestling. Nobody that I've heard, if you've heard
I
differently, has
haven't
said
heard anything.
what
I
happened.
just heard that it was for health reasons, and I hope everything's okay with her. But I mean,
Mhm.
you know, that does kind of suck.
I saw the
when
speed.
You're
Yeah,
building to a big TNA NXT, and your two like big champions kind of have to get switched around real quick.
and you're building a group that hinges on her, and bringing up what Heather and I forget the other girl's name, Emma, I think it is. Yeah, the Elegance, and you know that I think last night you had the Knockouts
Not
tag champs.
anymore. Sorg.
I still need to
spoiler
catch
alert.
up. So there you go.
girls.
There you go.
My girls are back.
Man, you're in such like out of all of this that's happening, this whole TNA NXT universe has to be the most interesting for you right now, given your history, given the Iconics and all this. Like you are just in like your zone
As
right
soon
now
as
with
I
what they're
saw
doing
the-
over there.
As soon as I saw they were coming back to TNA, I'm like, I'm like, and now we play the waiting game. Because yeah,
The same thing with Elias.
Yeah, I'm sure he's coming back.
He did the same thing.
Like,
Well, he's injured. He already did. He already
it's weird
popped up
'cause
at
I didn't see
NXT
him as part of the
before he got injured.
invasion stuff. Oh, okay.
He's been injured.
Okay.
Yeah, he got injured a couple months ago at TNA, but he came in. He may have even had a match, if I'm not mistaken. I think he had a TNA title match
Okay.
against
Yeah, that's right.
Trick. Maybe at NXT, maybe at a pay-per-view. I can't entirely recall.
Tina
It's
said
all
who
meshing
answered
together.
Mercedes Moné's
Because
challenge.
now we live in this universe.
Tina said who answered
What's that?
Mercedes Moné's challenge. If you want to get spoiled.
Ooh, who's that?
She teamed with Casey Catanzaro.
Okay.
Pretty sure. It's
Oh, okay. Lacey Lane, formerly
yeah, that's what I
Jaden
thought.
Carter, right?
Jaden Carter, who and isn't she also in a relationship with Damian
I think
Priest?
there was a rumor. I don't know if they're actually. I think they were just friends.
Okay, I thought I saw pictures. I don't know, but either way, no, that's cool. No, that's probably probably a good match. She was really good. She never got never found a spot in WWE, but one other thing I wanted to mention. Did you guys watch SmackDown
I watched some of
this
it.
week?
Little.
Did you see Javon Evans
Oh yeah.
attack the cameraman? Does a dive. Also, the clips I'm seeing from this match, they were doing some interesting low angle shots, it seemed, during much of this. Like
Because that
across
boy
the
is
front and
bouncing?
stuff like that. They were definitely playing with it a little bit. Because that boy is bouncy, and you got to play with the bouncy, right?
Yeah.
Plus, also, wasn't he teaming with like Ray Phoenix?
Because Andrade is.
Stick.
So
Because, oh, yeah, he doesn't have a buddy, so he got the bouncy guy. So, hey, don't hate that. Yeah, because him and Andrade had like a great like
not
ladder
if you
match
ask Andrade.
a little bit ago
Andrade-
with everybody.
Andrade, I'm sure. Was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I should be the one beating Cody and then going on to beat Seth Rollins at Crown Jewel.
There's that too, I guess. Lola Vice is the one dating Damien. I can't keep up anymore.
Or wrestlers be dating.
So, either way,
Wrestlers be dating.
they be dating. They begin. What am I doing? Jeez, I don't know. Everybody's saying wrestlers hit me up every Tuesday for messages on shows in the middle of the show, and it throws me off. Yeah, but he does a dive, hits the guy. Apparently, takes the. I don't think the cameraman went down.
Cameramen are
But he
sturdy.
definitely got hit. And it was a really
they're
cool shot.
sturdy guys.
Yes. Oh yeah, I went with somebody. We went to AEW. Thank you for you know who you are. They got us tickets for AEW. But one of the guys I brought with me was actually amazed at of how in shape the cameramen were.
So they have to.
And it was like, yeah, they don't to my knowledge, when they have like a 5-hour, 6-hour with 0-hour AEW show, I don't think they switch cameramen
No.
during that process. You got to be, like I talk with the guys about how I started working out because I didn't want to feel like shit at ringside holding a camera for a 3-hour show. Or it would be a 5-hour show, some of these promotions we work for reasons. So, like you gotta be, and those are big cameras. I've seen people just start losing it when they have those shoulder rigs that aren't even as big as the ones that they use on WWE TV and everything like that. So yeah, hey, some of them may have even trained. How many referees and managers are trained and other people around
I
it,
thought I heard
and things like that.
Everyone, if you're potentially on camera, you do have to train to take a bump. Like, because I think even like Kathy Kelly, like all the announcers, like I think they've at least trained. I think
the announcers do too.
To take a bump, just in case something happens, or they're like called a bump or something.
Yeah, hey, when we do a spot with you where Brock Lesnar's going to murder you, Michael Cole. So, which it makes. I mean, I think it's a good safety
thing.
You know,
Michael Cole's ever been. I think he has trauma blocked. I think he's trauma blocked.
Yeah. I mean, haven't we all? No, I mean that makes sense because in kind of related to that, it was interesting. I was talking to the announcer AJ over at OVW. He was on a show in Cleveland with us several months ago, and in Kentucky, certain states have different licenses. Like some, you have to get like physicals for some of them. Like I know some of the wrestlers we know have to talk about like, I gotta get a physical for like Kentucky or Tennessee or Maryland or something like that in order to even wrestle there. For your $20 whatever wrestling show. But that's mean, but it's true sometimes. But he says that anybody that's inside the barricade also needs the license and physical. And I think over 40, you have to take the physical every year. So if you're a camera person, you have to have a license. Wow. If you're an announcer that they set up inside the barricade, you need a license. Like if you're a cord wrangler, you need a license. Anybody inside that barricade needs to be licensed with the Athletic Commission.
Like it sounds annoying, but it's
does it?
Your ass. No.
What does that cover? That's not insurance.
But if someone tries to come at the Athletic Commission and say I was in an unsafe working environment, they can say, well, you didn't have a license.
Yeah, I guess there's that, but I don't know if that's entirely how that works. From my understanding of the Athletic Commission, could be different in Kentucky, but I have my opinions about how it works here in PA.
In Kentucky,
and I've had these conversations with members of the commissions themselves.
Your cousin can be your wife in Kentucky. A lot of things are different
there. That's true. Okay, that's true. I did just come from the South, and 11
herbs
sometimes.
and spices, 11 cousins.
Sometimes you're like, they're just like us. Then you go visit and you're just like, no, not really.
And then you try to play
really.
they're not like us.
In some ways, but
we don't play that music.
We need to move on. So thank you guys supporting things going on around the wrestling world at IndieWrestling.us. 8A Wrestling, we had a great it was pre-taped last week, I know, but that was a great show that they had for Thursday night fights every Thursday night live in most cases, unless we have a technical reason we cannot do the show on Thursdays. It's a scheduling actually. We were actually in we mentioned Carolina. We're in South Carolina for around Greenville, South Carolina, for the Baja SAE Carolina event, which was tremendous. We got to do a really awesome live stream on the track and do some really cool stuff. We actually talked about it on Awesome Cast this evening on, I think that is 477. No, that's what this is. 4 something. Whatever the latest episode of Awesome Cast. If you want to go check out some background about that trip and some of the things we did out in a motocross track for that event. But a lot of really cool stuff happening there. We have coming up here in a couple of weeks. In 1 weekend, I think we have the 880 Wrestling World Series back at Penn Brewery. We're hoping it's going to be outside again. Praying, Reese Hayes is praying to the David Lynch, the god of David Lynch, I guess, for good weather. And of course, we do have RWA has their Bloody Harvest match, our show that's going to have Glenn Spector and Crash for the RWA Championship. We are also going to have Neo Pro, and you may want to keep an ear out for news for Neo Pro that I need to confirm soon. So it's going to be a very, very busy weekend for IndieWrestling.us. The weekend of the weekend of the AEW pay-per-view. The weekend of the 18th. So a lot of stuff there, and plus a lot of great stuff coming out all the time. Matches, shows. Top Rope Tabletop's going to come up with the Halloween edition, I believe, in a couple weeks. Now that I've gotten through the COVID cancellation, we might bring back the poker show that we tried with Gory and friends. A lot of fun stuff there. IndieWrestling.us, getting your local wrestling needs. And also a shout out to our friends at NWA Exodus Pro. The only way to see that in Cleveland is in person for their Hexodus show. That's going to be a lot of fun. Getting the notes about what that show is going to shape up to look like this weekend. And always good to be hanging out with that Cleveland crew up there. And you never know who's going to show up from that NWA realm too. And a lot of the friends of the show are making headwinds into the NWA Exodus Pro show and making on NWA TV. So I'm always interested to see what Cowpoke Paul was just on AEW Collision and Ring of Honor in the last week, and looking great out there in some trios matches. So that's really cool to see friends of the show involved and getting opportunities like that too. So I think other friend of the show, Katie Arquette, is even on this last week's Ring of Honor from the Pittsburgh taping. So keep an eye out for that too. But of course, I mentioned 880 Wrestling, and we can't do that without talking about 880's most elite, Austin Cairns, with us here in the studio. You had a very interesting experience.
Yes.
We talked about, I think I may have mentioned on the show, I came in, we had a show here in the studio, so I couldn't get out of here to see the dark matches or anything like that, and the Ring of Honor tapings, which I always love to see who's pops up on those. I feel like I'm the only one that's exciting for Ring of Honor tapings when these guys come to town. I was sad when that show ended at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And there wasn't like 5 Ring of Honor matches for me to watch, when half the arena empties. So
I think they were surprised too.
Right? It was just like, oh, that's it. I mean, ending on Darby Allin with a damn flamethrower gun is kind of a good way for us to go home, but
I got a funny Darby story for you too later about the whole flamethrower incident.
Okay,
I
all
was
right,
in Gorilla when he came back, so...
There you go. I was trying to see if it was a boring flamethrower. I got to hold one of those in Vegas one time. So I get in, and my compatriots are just like, fucking Austin was down there. I'm like, what are you talking about? Austin was down here. He's like, I walked in, I heard a 1, 2, 3 while I'm going through security, and I hear Hook's music. And I was like, okay. He's like, and I'm like, Austin. First of all, I was like, Austin who? It just wasn't tracking at the time. Like just like the context. I'm like, I don't know an AEW guy named Austin, right? And I'm just like, no, from 880. I'm like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, he did this match and he was on commentary. I'm like, that's impossible. And then like eventually I saw your post and I'm like, holy shit. We talked about it. Tell us what happened. First of all, how did you find yourself in this position to be ringside at AEW before they went on for Dynamite? Tell me about this.
Well, I have a connection through Point Park University, which is where I currently go to college.
And Point Park's a pretty good broadcast school, too.
Very good broadcasting school, yes. And I had a connection with an EVP there.
Mhm.
And originally, I thought I was just going to be in the production truck the entire time. That was what I was initially told. I was like, yeah, you can come down, you get a viewing of it. We can show you how you put on production, kind of give you a tour of the place, and then just kind of hang out during the show. And I was like, okay, this is awesome. So I get there, and there was a lot of moving parts. Moxley was warming up in the ring. You had Darby Allin, you had Roderick Strong, just everybody doing their own thing backstage.
Are you just like on a list or something? Or
So I kind of just showed up. I took 2 buses there, and I just went up to the security guard. I said, hey, I'm here to shadow. And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, okay, let me make a call real quick. And he pulls out his phone, he makes a call, and he's like, all right, right this way. I'm like, all right, cool. And they just take me right into the Pete. So I literally just kind of showed up there and said, yeah, I'm here to shadow.
Okay.
And I get back there and I meet Amanda Huber, the widow of Brody Lee. And I didn't even know it was her at first until she started talking about her son. And I was like, wait a minute, you're the widow of Brody Lee. And she was like, yeah, and she's amazing. And she showed me around the whole place. And they kind of caught on a little bit that I do commentary and stuff here in Pittsburgh. I told them about some of the stuff I've done with IWC and 880 and just kind of been all over the place. And they were like, hey, well, we'll take you around and you can actually be down here during the show instead of just the production trucks and get like more visual of like what the commentators do, what the wrestlers do beforehand. I was like, okay, this is sick. So next thing you know, I find myself in hair and makeup. I don't know how I'm there. We're in hair and makeup. I'm getting tours there. Mark Briscoe's shooting a promo. They have Chris Statlander getting all ready to go. They're showing me gear that they're debuting on the show tonight. And they take me up to catering, which catering was amazing, by the way. I just got to say.
I've heard from some of our friends.
The catering was amazing. Outside the lobster ravioli, that was awful. But everything else was amazing. And we're up in catering, and I found out that Orange Cassidy was there. And Orange Cassidy's been gone for a while, if I'm not mistaken, on AEW. So when I was getting on the elevator and I saw him, I was like, wait a minute, you're returning tonight. And he was like, yeah. I'm like, oh, this is sick. So we get downstairs, talking to all the extras, Derek Dillinger, Katie Arquette, really good friends with them. And we're just kind of BSing and talking. It's me, Amanda, Derek, and Katie kind of in the circle. And one of the EVPs come by, pull Amanda to the side, whisper something in her ear. And she's like, oh, okay. And then she goes, yeah, Austin, by the way, you're on commentary tonight. I'm like, me? And she's like, yeah, you're going to go on commentary. You're going to call a dark match. You're going to call Hook and one of the local talents. And I was like, okay. And she goes, are you comfortable doing that? And I'm like, yeah, I'm comfortable doing that, but I don't have any notes.
Which is a great thing is always say yes.
Yeah,
right?
I always say yeah. And the craziest part, it was 20 minutes before the dark tapings were happening, before Ring of Honor and stuff. Because they did 2 Ring of Honor matches, and then they did Hook's match just as like a regular dark match.
Yeah.
So,
which they never do, by the way. I've never noticed them doing a match that definitely wasn't going on, at least intended to be like an AEW dark at least, or a Ring of Honor or something, right?
It was a weird layout the way they did it, but I know Katie was in one of the matches, and I think Zoe Sky was in the match before.
Yeah, and I think those are both on this last week's like Ring of Honor TV.
Yeah.
I think I saw the announcements. Yeah,
those were the most recent ones, and then Hook's match was just the final one, and it was just like a 5 to 6 minute squash match. It was nothing crazy. So I'm trying to pull up all the notes that I can. I kind of already know Hook's background, but like I really don't know what's going on. I was talking to Taz and Schiavone and Excalibur earlier in the day, just getting advice from them. So I don't know if there was any parallels there with Taz and Hook, because Hook is Taz's son or whatever. But whenever I found out I was doing Hook's match, I'm like, okay, I got to do research. I got to figure out who these guys are. I usually have notes ready to go. I don't have anything prepared. So I'm on my phone trying to Google everything. And they take me out to the floor director. I'm kind of sitting there during the 2 Ring of Honor matches. And they say, okay, as soon as you get the cue, you're going to follow me. We're going to go over to the timekeeper's area, and you can go sit down at the desk and call a match. I was like, okay, cool, let's do it. So Justin Roberts came over to me, which I thought was pretty cool, because Justin Roberts was the ring announcer in WWE when I was growing up. So it was already pretty cool seeing him come up to me.
He was a mainstay on SmackDown, is that right?
Yep, right on SmackDown. And he came up to me and he's like, is it Austin Cairns, Austin Cairns? I'm like, it's Austin Cairns. And he's like, okay, cool. He's like, hey, go out there, enjoy the moment, buddy, and just have fun. And I was like, oh, sick. They're going to like announce my name or something when I go sit down. This is going to be awesome. So I'm kind of standing around. The bell rings. Katie Arquette loses. I think it's Serena Deeb she was facing on the Ring of Honor tape, if I'm not mistaken. And as soon as Serena Deeb gets her arm raised, I'm being pulled by 2 security guards. 2 security guards grab my arm and they're like, all right, Austin, run. I'm like, run? Where the hell are we going? I thought going to the commentator's desk. So next thing you know, I'm a gorilla now. Tony Khan's in his chair. Samoa Joe is there. There's a couple other people there too. And they're like, all right, you see that hole over there with those 2 guys sitting in black? I was like, yeah. And they're like, okay, the second you hear your name from Justin Roberts, walk out there and enjoy the moment. And before I could even process what they just said, next thing you know, I hear Justin Roberts, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Pittsburgh's own Austin Cairns. And they kind of give me a little shove. I go out there.
I love it. Like, it feels like it's in a movie where they just like, shove the unprepared, like, poor soul out on stage.
Yeah,
or
one
like,
of the audio guys, they're just like kind of like, go. And I was like, okay. So I walk out there. I froze on stage, not because I was taking the moment.
And
in.
You went out the entrance. Like,
they
didn't sneak you through the bell keeper or anything like that. You went out the entrance.
I went out the entrance. I walked out, and I was kind of already there before the show because they gave me a tour of the entire place.
Yeah.
But during the live show, I walk out there, and I have thousands of people staring at me, and I'm looking around. I'm like, I should not be here right now. This is not where I should be. So I kind of took it all in for a second, and then I kind of sped walk through. But I wanted to be in the moment, so I'm trying to shake everybody's hand. And you could tell they're like, who the hell is this guy just walking out here? So I'm shaking everybody's hand.
There's no background.
No background.
You're not even wearing you're wearing a Point Park or anything on this thing, or
No.
I can't tell from the
I
picture.
was pretty dressed up. I had a button down and dress pants just to try and dress up a little bit nice, but I wasn't like in a sports coat or anything.
Yeah.
So I go to sit down, and it's funny because I recognize some of the 880 folks in the crowd. So like I heard them cheering for me. But the part that really threw me off was when I went to go and sit down. As soon as I put the headset on, I hear someone yell behind me, "Look, it's the Jagoff," which I don't know if that's referencing my podcast, Two Jagoffs. I don't know if that's referencing maybe I'm just a Jagoff.
That's right. Your podcast is
Two Jagoffs, yes.
Two Jagoffs. If anybody wants to look that up, you do that with you're doing that through Point Park, right, through their facility over there, right?
I'm doing it through their facility, but I've been actually doing it for about 3 years now.
Nice,
so
nice.
It's been going pretty solid. But
did you take the podcast class?
I did take the podcast class.
Okay, good. I taught the podcast class. One of the sections of it. What was that, the last semester? So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I'm familiar with it. It's a good starter point.
It's a really good class.
Mhm,
It kind of sucked though because my podcast's already been around 2 years. Whenever I took that class, so
I had these dudes that were already like doing a weekly hour and a half like sports one, and I'm just like, can you do like a 70-minute version for me to? I don't want to have to listen to your hour and a half show. That's great. This thing, just give me a short one, 3 times, and then you'll get an A. Just trust me.
Yeah, I think I turned in my Andrew Palace interview actually.
There you go.
For credit for one of them. I was just like, hey, can I just turn this in? I'm already doing an interview, and they're like, yeah, go ahead. And he was like, this was one of the funniest interviews I've ever watched. But yeah, no, I sit down at the desk. And I'm like, who called me a Jagoff? Because it took away all my nerves because I was like so caught up. I'm like, who the hell just called me a Jagoff at
You're
AEW?
like, oh, I'm in Pittsburgh. I'm good.
Okay. At first I was like, yeah, it's just the Pittsburgh cadence. And I was like, wait, no, maybe they're referencing my podcast. Maybe I am just a Jagoff. I don't know. But I sit down, I put the headset on, and I don't know who was in my ear. It wasn't Tony. It was somebody else. And they're like, all right, Austin, look at the camera. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. I give them the thumbs up, and they're like, all right, let's call it a match. And they had the monitor there and everything like that. So I kind of already had an idea of what I was doing. I was definitely nervous for the first minutes, but I called the match. They said, all right, Austin, take off the headset and follow Justin Roberts. Followed Justin Roberts backstage. They took me over to the truck and they gave me a round of applause, which I thought was pretty cool.
Nice. There you are there in action, of course. They got a lot more better headsets than what I give you on Thursday nights, it looks like.
It was a nice headset.
Yes. I'm sure I can never afford those. But so like were they giving you any notes like during the match in your headset or anything like that? Or you're like, no, I'm on my own.
No.
I kept seeing these pictures and hearing about this, and I'm just like, what in the Make-A-Wish is happening here?
It was my Make-A-Wish experience.
Especially the way you told me about this, like the next day on Thursday Night Fights. Because we're all just like, every one of us walked in and was like, what the fuck, dude? What did you do? How did you do this? Right? And you know, and then like we got the more of like, yeah, I did this and I saw the belt and I talked to Amanda and this happened. I met Daniel Bryan and Tony and just like,
yeah, that happened
and
right
Excalibur
after.
and we're just like, what? So, but it really is kind of, you know, I think this is the thing, like you asked.
I just asked.
And you got there and you weren't afraid to walk in, you know. I mean, you got the okay to walk in, you know, or whatever through your contacts, but you pressed on it.
I did.
And a lot of people, I think, are afraid. I know I've been afraid to do that over the years. There's certain things I did not reach out to interviews, did not do this for the show or anything like this that could have pushed things forward, right? And it takes some people a lot longer to learn that. And you're doing this at this stage. You know, what is it that, why did you push so hard going into this?
Well, I've learned in life you got to be persistent, not necessarily pushy, because pushy will kind of push you away. But if you're persistent enough and you ask so many times, they're eventually going to give in. So, I mean, I kind of did.
Wearing them down is the key.
Pretty much. I've been asking for about 2 months to get backstage at AEW before this happened. I was just kind of begging everyone at Point Park. I was begging the dean, even the president. I was in his emails every single day, every single week, like, can you get me backstage at AEW? Can you get me backstage at AEW? I did the same thing when WWE came to town. I had no luck. But I was just pushing.
Yeah, I'm sure they're a little tighter to get through.
They were a lot more tighter. But again, like you got to take every shot that you can. So I was just doing my best to push. And then I finally got a call literally 2 weeks before the show. And they said, hey, we can maybe get you to do this seminar with some of the AEW executives out of Turner Broadcasting. And we're going to stream it back to Point Park. And maybe that's your in. And I was like, okay, I like this idea. So the original plan was I was going to go to the Peterson Event Center before the show. I was going to be in a room with a bunch of the EVPs and some of the heads. And I was just going to kind of interview them send it back to Point Park on like a Zoom call or whatever for students to watch for free and kind of learn. And then I would just kind of hang out at the show all day.
Kind of like the Stephanie McMahon RMU
Yeah.
thing that happened a few years ago, right?
Something like that, yeah. And that kind of fell through.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, well, we see how passionate you are about wrestling, so we're going to do everything in your power to at least get you there.
Are you submitting that like, hey, I'm doing this, I'm working with these companies?
Yep.
Are you sending links or anything like that to them? Or
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm posting all the time. And
Yeah.
I'm sending stuff to, I'm pretty close with our dean, Bernie Ankeny through Point Park.
Yeah.
And I'm constantly sending him stuff. Like the Cleveland show we did for 880, I sent him over. The last IWC show I just did, I sent him over. Obviously, the AEW stuff, I texted him the night of. Literally, as soon as I was done, I was like, hey, you guys got to post this now. You guys got to throw this up right now. This is probably the biggest experience of my life. And you just got to be persistent. That's kind of how I got my in with 882. Went there as a fan. And then I kind of asked around. I was like, hey, if you have any openings, let me know.
You were doing camera for us.
I was doing camera for you guys. That was my in.
And this is, I can't remember if I told you a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about this. I was telling Missy this recently because I was like, you were in the camera. Again, I saw the passion and I saw you move to commentary after like a few weeks. And I was a little offended by that, but I was like, it's okay. I see where he wants to go. That's fine. You know, it's kind of thing. Cause I was sad to lose you as a camera person, honestly, cause you were kicking ass right out of the bat and everything. So, but I also, you know, I know Point Park, you know, people are ready to go half the time when I see people out of Point Park. That's been my experience with that and teaching there and stuff too. And I have a long relationship with Point Park with one thing or another. So, personally wish I went to school there actually. So,
it's a great school.
yeah. I was like, I went to the Art Institute. That was a freaking mistake. But anyways, other than that, Pitt's great. Pitt's great too, guys, by the way. So
Pitt is good.
we have our Pitt interns
Too bad they
here.
don't really have a broadcasting program.
They got a film program.
It's growing. It's trying.
Whoa, you're working on it? We're working on it.
Okay,
Max
that's
says
good
we're
to see.
working on it.
Hail the
So
Pitt.
there you go. Listen, I would love a competitive broadcasting like between you guys' schools. Like
Yeah, Point Park's real competition right now is just think Waynesburg right now. I think that's really the only other one.
Like I think that's really important to, you know, just to like, oh cool, I can go over here, you know, like I have a lot of choice with that kind of thing. So, and you can do so much with that at Pitt, right? It's such a, you know, bigger school. You have all the sports and everything.
They have a nice athletics department too.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You do a lot with that, right? I'm always amazed doing the SAE stuff, seeing the kids, like seeing their business presentations and seeing the media that's being done and the kids coming out there. Like this one kid came out with like a red camera. I'm like, show me what you got, buddy. Like I can't even afford that. And they hired me. You know what I mean? So, but obviously it belongs to the school. Like when we were talking about equipment earlier with Pitt, they're just like, don't break this because it's half your tuition. So, but anyways, aside from that, you know, obviously you pressed on this thing and everything. So what was, you know, you got to meet Tony.
Tony, yes. Crazy experience.
I listen. We all make the jokes, you know. Everybody makes the jokes like, "Oh, he's on," you know, the speculations or whatever. But I just think he's a hyper energetic wrestling fan, personally.
Very.
That has the money to do things with it. So, you know, what was that vibe when you got to meet Tony?
Well, I didn't even know I was going to meet Tony right away. It was kind of after the show. I was just talking with Amanda, and we were just kind of sitting like right on the floor seat, right behind the floor seats, pretty much during most of the show. And she was like, yeah, I'll take you backstage. Let you meet Tony, let you meet some of the other guys. And then if you want anybody else, we can, because she's never done anything like this with anybody before. Because I asked her throughout the night, I was like, hey, has anybody ever done something like this? And she's like, no, I have no clue what I'm really doing. I'm just kind of showing you around.
She doesn't have a clue.
So I was just kind of there. Again, you said it perfectly. It's like a Make-A-Wish thing.
Yeah.
But we go backstage, meet Tony, and he literally just got done wrapping up the show. Like the Darby Allin segment was just finishing up, and that's when Darby Allin came back. And the first thing he said was, I was so worried I was gonna light that ring on fire. I almost caught the top rope on fire. I almost tripped on the stair. I saw Moxley fall.
Dude, I'm watching that. Like I'm like halfway up the stands, and I'm just like, that's on the edge right there, you know,
Yeah.
that stunt, you know.
Darby was like talking to some of the like EVPs back there, and he was like, yeah, I did not want to catch that on fire. And then I'm just kind of standing there with Amanda, and Amanda's like, oh, hey, what's up, Darby? This is Austin. And he's like, oh, hey, nice to meet you, Austin. I'm like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. He has a flamethrower in one hand. He's shaking my hand with another. So then Tony wraps up what he's doing. And Amanda was like, hey, Tony, can we borrow you for a second? He's like, yeah, of course. And then she introduced me to Tony, kind of told my story a little bit. And he was like, oh, yeah, you were the one that was on the commentary for Hook's match. I was like, oh, God, Tony knows that I was on for Hook's match, which is crazy. So he shakes my hand, and he's pretty much almost everything the internet says. He's definitely a big fan of wrestling.
Mhm.
I don't know if he blinked at all in our conversation that we had, but Tony was.
So the rumors are true.
Rumors are true, but Tony is an amazing guy, and you could
Yeah,
tell he's
yeah.
passionate about this business.
Yeah.
Like he loves professional wrestling. So I shook his hand, and the cool part that he said was he was going to listen to it back, and they were going to send it over eventually, which they're in the midst of doing right now. I've been in contact with them the last couple weeks.
Good.
And he was saying, yeah, let's get a picture. He was like, just keep on the grind, man, and yeah, maybe
Mhm.
you'll do something like this one day. And he saw the passion I had, and I think that kind of gelled. And we had like a nice 5-minute conversation, which was pretty cool.
That's awesome. That's
yeah,
awesome.
Tony was awesome.
I mean, but that's the way you do it because now you're on the radar. You know,
Mhm.
I know. In I always thought again, kind of talking about this as we were seeing the pictures and talking with other people about what was happening, and I was like, well, you do have a foot in the door because you're going through a broadcast school. I several of our friends, you may have had conversations with the same ones I have, talking about like if you don't go through broadcast school, WWE doesn't even want to look at you, things
Yep.
like that. So already you kind of have like an in on top of an in for something like this. So and it also brings. Have you ever talked to Nick Lendl?
Yes.
About
Nick
his.
Lendl.
Did you ever talk to him about his experience with NXT?
I have, yeah.
'Cause
Actually, just this Saturday, yeah.
He had a very kind of similar experience, but he just like muscled his way into a tour and did a ring announcer spot. So and that's really motivating. I mean, well, he did Ring of Honor for the longest time,
Yeah,
right?
he did Ring of Honor. He has a few WWE tryouts. Yeah, we were talking about a lot this weekend.
like it's a very,
Yeah.
I want to say similar, but it's along that it's along that grind idea, So, and I think they told him the same thing. Hey, get to an indie to do, work your stuff out. And I think that's when he found like IWC in Cleveland and stuff and whatever, and got in the car with Joe and stuff. So
That's what you gotta do. You gotta get in the car with Joe.
Yeah,
That's what I did this weekend too. We
So
went
whatever.
to Dayton. Yeah,
that's what I learned a lot in the car with Joe too. So,
you learn a lot with Joe.
yes,
Joe
Joe
do
Dombrowski.
karaoke for
You hear at the beginning of this show. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, Joe did a lot of karaoke.
Yes.
The second Celine Dion came on, Joe was vibing.
My heart will go on.
That's
yes.
the song.
Did he do the DX Run GMC for you?
I think he did the first time around, not this time though.
Oh man.
Not this time.
Oh,
I crashed
man.
on him on the way home. We didn't get back till like 5 a.m.
Did I see you guys went to Wrestle Revolver?
Yeah, we went to Revolver.
They're on Dayton, right? Yeah. So,
was
'cause
good.
I saw some pictures pop up from there, and it looked like you had, but that's exactly what you need to do. Get in that
Mhm.
car, get out there, get in front of people, and you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
So.
that's where a lot of those opportunities come. It's like the whole AEW thing wouldn't have been possible without like doing stuff with Joe, doing stuff with 880, just kind of asking around, just being persistent enough. And that's how I met Daniel Bryan too, which was still crazy. I can't believe I met him.
What's the biggest thing you learned from your experience doing this
Biggest thing I've learned.
that day?
Well, the biggest thing I learned is how crazy the production is. Like the amount of moving parts. Like they had an entire section of the arena blocked off just for props, just for gear, just for hair and makeup. So like the amount of bodies that it takes that goes into it, I think is sick. It's so surreal. But the biggest thing that I really learned is honestly just keep grinding. You really got to like get the reps in. Tony Schiavone, the one thing that he told me that I thought was pretty cool, he said, listen to yourself back, put yourself in a mirror, just get comfortable with yourself, and that's how you can get on camera. And I'm kind of already pretty comfortable on camera. I'm talking to you right now on camera, so this is pretty easy. But it's just about getting those reps, and you got to be consistent with it. Like if you take a week or two off, you're not going to polish your craft. You kind of have to be consistent every single week.
And that's, I mean, you're doing that. You're doing the few weekly shows, for instance, in town here with us at 8080, and been doing tremendous with that. Working with Eamon, who's got a good upbringing as far as stuff that he's been doing from down in Texas and coming up here. Toddy, I don't know if you saw the pictures I put out, because there's a great circle that happens, especially before the big shows, where I see all three of the commentators. Like it looks like like you're doing notes, like Toddy's like holding court or something,
Commentator's court.
which is funny because I think like Eamon actually has more experience than Toddy, but still, like, it's a good vibe, like, amongst all you guys. I know Toddy's in the chat room. He said hi before, by the way.
What's up, Toddy?
So, but I love seeing that. I love that Eamon's gotten into things.
Yeah.
I love seeing the new blood with you. I love that, like, Toddy, is like, what do you call himself? Kinetic wallpaper. I love that vibe. And there's this cool thing that's happening in commentary certainly is the strongest it's been during this project, I think, right now with the trio of you guys at it.
Yeah, we bounce off each other really well. For a while when it
You're
was
pushing something. You're pushing each other.
yeah, when me and Eamon were on commentary for a while, we bounced off each other real well.
Mhm.
I listened to a couple stuff with Toddy and Eamon too. They bounce off each other really well. Me and Toddy bounce it's like a nice thing because there's not necessarily like a heel or like a heel commentator.
No,
it's just
no.
kind of 3 play-by-play guys just bouncing different ideas off. I've kind of stepped more into the Keller role a little bit, but like with some of the storylines that's going on, like especially with Leaders by Example. But outside of that, I mean, we just kind of bounce off each other.
Mhm. And I love seeing that. I love seeing people just kind of drop in, and it's like they've been here the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, like that's kind of a beautiful thing that happens there. So again, I presume you're going to be part of this World Series show.
I will be.
Thursday night fights the next couple of weeks and everything like that. And who knows what show Joe's gonna drag you along to. So you know, I love that you're getting the professional experience and the like indie experience, because not to call it unprofessional, but it's different.
Much different. Much different.
That's tremendous. So where can people find your stuff? I know you're all over my LinkedIn.
Yeah, I'm a LinkedIn guy.
Yeah.
Well, you can find me on LinkedIn, X, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Did I say Facebook? Facebook, yeah. I'm pretty much everywhere. I'm pretty much on every platform at Austin Cairns. My main podcast, 2 Jagoffs. That's kind of where I'm at twice a week. Those are pretty much the 3 places.
And there is a lot of wrestling on there too. So go check that out. I see the clips pop up on my feed. I'm like, oh, I know that guy. I know that guy.
Yeah, we've had
you even let John on there. Some guy named John on there.
Well, it wasn't by decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just kind of bullied his way on.
Kind of the same vibe, right?
Mm-hmm. He just kind of bullied his way on.
Yeah. It's just like meaner, I guess. So awesome. It's awesome to see the opportunity. Awesome to see somebody doing some really cool stuff. So and I hope you guys take some notes from this as well out there. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and we're going to work on intern Mac's homework assignment after this.
I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
We are back. It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. And as you can tell, we have Austin Cairns here from Point Park University, and we are all about education here on the Wrestling Mayhem Show. Isn't that right, Mike?
Absolutely. we're nothing if not educated.
What is
Some of us
exactly?
literally.
We're educating people about wrestling. Yeah, exactly. So we have intern Mac on the couch now. Oh, he's shorter than the other guy.
No.
The couch
Let
eats
the
you. I
couch
get it.
eat you. Just fully sink into it. That's how the couch becomes one with you.
Accept the couch. Become one with the couch in the podcast.
It's a pretty comfy couch.
Yeah, pull that mic a little closer to you there. So there's a lot of butts that have been on that couch that are now champions on promotions. So international superstars have been on that couch before they were stars. Some of them didn't wear pants. So Mac, remind us again for our audience, what is your experience with professional wrestling?
I know nothing about professional wrestling. I watched one WWE event 2 weeks ago.
Oh boy.
And that's it.
That's it. But of course, but you've been to 880. You've done video for it. I mean, you're finding an interest in it through that experience, right?
Yeah, no. Every time I go to 880, I have so much fun. I actually dragged my one buddy. I was like, hey, you have to go see this. I know that you don't care about wrestling, but I'm enjoying this, so I need to share it with someone. So I don't know.
Which is not unusual, because again, Ashley that's done shows with us for a couple years now. I don't think she watches wrestling at all. Her boyfriend is not interested, but she is completely down to do this in MMA with us, and it's kind of a different experience, and it's wild. Everything's kind of happening. It is the most, you're talking about kinetic wallpaper. It's kind of the most kinetic live experience I think you can get out there, right? So obviously, you don't know the backgrounds, you don't know the best matches, you don't have this experience. You're very new to this. I want to say this concept of professional wrestling. I feel like I'm diminishing this world of professional wrestling we're so excited about, that I've been doing a podcast for 20 years for. So we want to bring back something. We used to have, Mike, do you remember what we used to call the homework assignment that we used to have?
I think we just
call it a homework assignment? We did this
because then we had someone who was on here that pretended to be a teacher, and less said about that guy, the better.
Oh, that's right. The professor. That's right. We did that over COVID because there was nothing to talk about in wrestling. So we're like, give us a homework assignment of something to watch.
His name was
I completely forgot that's something we did.
Like that, I don't remember names.
It was
that I fully bested.
It was Jacob.
I know.
It was Jacob Edwin. He was allegedly a professor.
Not a real professor.
We haven't seen him for a while, so I think he might have been disbarred. Is it disbarred?
Well,
I don't know how that works. This is why I was only.
So I have something over him.
You are technically a. I'm still trying to figure out how I was a professor for a minute, adjunct without a teaching degree like you do.
Don't you need a master's?
Yeah, you do. I think I need a master's. I'm like, how am I?
It depends on where.
Do you not need a master's for Point Park University? Yeah, like for the Pittsburgh Technical Institute, I think I was okay. I just needed to teach them web design, right? And I guess, yeah, but that doesn't give you a degree, and I'm still paying for the piece of paper. So, anyways, Mac, the point is, so we're going to give you a homework assignment, and professor in air quotes says Potter. So you've been kicked out of the fake professor to protect education. Anyways, we and I don't, you know what, we did talk about. You brought up a match earlier, Mike, and I think that might be a very good starting point for this, right?
Oh, that's
the parking lot brawl.
Excellent start. Ooh.
And I just found it on YouTube when we were talking about. So, Mike, set up the parking lot brawl for Mac for this watch.
So you've heard of John Cena, right? John Phoenix, Anthony Cena?
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
We'll say that I did.
Okay, but you've heard the name John Cena. And he's... Okay.
Have you seen Peacemaker?
No,
Okay.
I get a bunch of stuff about it. I want to watch it. I just haven't
Alright.
had time.
So anyway,
Okay. Do you know the concept of John Cena?
You know you can't see
No,
me.
I know the concept.
Okay.
well, actually,
I
it
know the
kind of
concept
makes
of John
sense that you
Cena. I
haven't
know all the
seen it.
memes.
So, but I'm bummed.
I was waiting for it.
Damn it.
I was waiting for it, Sorg.
So John Cena, back in the day, was known to be a rapper of sorts. He would mostly do kind of improv diss tracks on his opponents, and I believe he was U.S. champion at this point with Eddie, and eventually it got to a point where I believe someone attacked someone else with a crowbar or a tire iron or something like that. And WWE used to do these really fun matches called parking lot brawls, where they would have a whole bunch of cars in a circle, and all the headlights would be on, and the wrestlers would be like hanging around the cars, like being the crowd essentially, because it's backstage, it's pre-recorded, so you don't get a live crowd audience. But they would essentially, like, you know, the heels would cheer the heels, the faces would cheer the faces, and Eddie and John just beat the crap out of each other. It was a really, really fun match.
By the way, this match happened on September 11th, 2003.
And we never
Happy 2-year
forgotten
anniversary.
Sorg. We've never forgotten it. It's a very good match. It's for this project
Yes.
of you starting your homework assignments for us. It's an excellent match to start with.
It's only 9.5 minutes, so it's
It's
not going to be a heavy lift for you. And yeah, so we put the YouTube link. Thank you, WWE
Hey,
Vault,
I
for
know
posting
those
old
guys.
matches, and we put that link in the.
Thank you, WWE Vault.
I know that.
Keep doing good work.
There you go. I'm sure something came from it, right? So that's in there, and we expect a full report from you next week after watching that. And let us know if it led you down any rat holes beyond that. So kind of situation. I like you get the smile on your face.
I'm already.
I don't know.
thinking
Did
of
you
what the
pull it up
second
yet already?
Yeah, I pulled it up. I'm gonna be up until 3 a.m.
And
tonight just watching wrestling. I'll do a full MLA book report for it.
Yeah, 12 point font, double space. Time
That's right. That's
Roman.
right. That's right. I don't want to do that. I don't need a PowerPoint presentation, but please have something prepared for next week. Professor Sorg and Professor Mad Mike are on the case, and we will be grading you, and as will
Sorg,
the chat room.
If anyone who
Okay,
knows me,
so
Oh boy.
you know what my first assignment is going to be. I'm just going to say,
what was your?
it has to do with someone on Raw versus someone on SmackDown, but they were in a different company where there were, shall we say, less rules. Oh no,
I don't know what we're
Sorg,
talking about.
you think about me and my sensibilities for a hot second, you'll figure it out.
When I'm not off of a road
I
trip
just
all
gave a
day,
big
I'll
clue,
probably
too.
figure this out. So there we go. Intern Tony, you can watch this too and give your feedback because I don't know how far back your wrestling knowledge goes, being a youngin. So,
It's a match
but
you
yeah,
can
we
do
will
in
compare
WWE
notes and
2K25.
class is in session.
That's another hint.
It's okay. Anyways, so we have an assignment. We have that in. And this is. I hope this goes on the internship
Oh,
report.
hell yeah.
So-
if it does, you're definitely doing it next match. Absolutely. Oh yeah.
Anyways, on that note, hey, give a shout out to our friends feeding our guests here tonight. I was like, listen, I got 3 college students in school in school, in the studio tonight. How many pizzas slice do I need? And they're like, you're gonna get 2. I'm like, yes, I will. I trust you. You're the experts in pizza portioning. So thank you so much, Slice on Broadway, supporting the show well over a decade. Oh my God, over half of our 20 years of professional professional wrestling podcasting. So right up the street is the original, the OG, with Rico and the gang up there. The what was it? The world's best cheese pizza, as awarded in Las Vegas earlier this year. The same place that Beastman destroyed several years ago. They actually told me on the phone that they still show people that video. I actually put it recently back up on the internet over on the IndieWrestling.us, or maybe I put it on the Mayhem Show account. I can't remember. It's in the social media somewhere. Beastman Pizza Slice on Broadway. You'll probably find the video in the Google.
Travels well across state lines.
I'll make sure of it. And it travels. I took a pizza, an entire slice pizza, to Mad Mike in upstate New York, in eastern upstate New York, rewarmed it, and we all enjoyed it in his kitchen, and it was delightful. Yes, we all broke pizza bread together. So, good shit. Good shit. SliceOnBroadway.com. That's their official new logo. Good shit.
Good shit, pal.
This is why we do this late in the show.
Good shit, pal.
What's that? It's good shit, pal. SliceOnBroadway.com. That's an official Wrestling Mayhem Show ad right there. And it's time to find out what you learned in wrestling this week.
That is the
Reclusa
match.
versus Penta? Oh,
Tina got it.
that
in
was the
one.
call. Reclusa versus Penta. Wait till we get to the Lucha Underground portion of the
Sorg,
syllabus,
Sorg,
Mac.
You know me. We're jumping right in.
Well, we need to start them on the. We need to start everybody on the standard wrestling, and of course, by standard wrestling, we started with the parking lot brawl. So, anyways, Mike, what
Okay.
did you learn from wrestling this
So
week?
I learned something very important. Sorg, if I were to ask you who the first wrestler is that was nominated for an Emmy for acting, who would you guess?
I'm guessing that's John Cena just got that.
Not John Cena. Not Dwayne. Not Batista. Not Terry. Not Randy Savage. Not Roddy Piper. For the Children's Emmy Awards, nominated, did not win, Adam Copeland. For Percy Jackson, nominated for a Children's Emmy Award. So I think we may have in the running, because I've read those books. His role gets bigger. I think if they give him the right episode, we could have a wrestler winning a Children's Emmy. Because Adam Copeland on the Percy Jackson show, if you haven't seen it, it's on Disney Plus. He plays Ares, the god of war. He is very, very good. He's very good in it. He is fan-flippin-tastic. He's awesome in the show. And I saw like a little, they did behind the scenes because he had to fight a small child. It's awesome. It's very cool. It's so much fun. I cannot recommend it enough. So that's what I learned. I learned that while we have this discussion of who might be winning awards, someone, may sneak in. May sneak in. Yeah.
Looks very Highlander. He was also in Highlander. So
Well, Percy Jackson is based on
Okay.
So
sure. It'd be great if he also reprised the Highlander role from when he was in Endgame. Was it Endgame? Yeah, I think it was Highlander Endgame. Either way, that's cool. Awesome. Austin, what'd you learn recently in wrestling? Other than what we talked about.
I've learned that fans are starting to get behind Carmelo Hayes, it feels like.
Yeah.
On SmackDown.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the direction that we're starting to go now. And I've also learned that any up-and-comer that you put Miz with, whether it's in a tag team or whether it's in a feud, usually pays off in the long run.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what I've learned.
I mean, there is a little bit of the Miz makes stars by making you hate, like,
Hate his guts.
I hate you. Therefore, I kind of have that role. Like, have you worked with J Rock anywhere yet?
I've
Are you
not.
aware of this?
I know J-Rock, but no.
There was a thing where, Reese came in and did a match in RWA. Mikey came in and did a match in RWA, and they weren't really given much for being a character other than, and they were cheered. I was like, well, it's easy to get cheered here. You're not Gianni. You're not J Rock. They hate them. So all you need to be is the other guy and play your part, right? I think that's what happens with Miz too. Like, and obviously Miz is a good, probably, he's a good guy to get you kind of going and stuff. But also, you hate him enough that you're just going to be, when the turn happens, you're just like, yeah, this guy.
Like Mizanin.
Please beat him up. And it's a good starting point. It's a really good starting point, right? What's that, Mike? King of Safe Style, yes. So
Good way to put it.
Yes, we got some from the chat room here. Matt Birch learned that Maxine Dupree. How do we do it, Mike?
Yeah.
Dupree. Oh God. Learned that Maxine D has improved as much as a performer recently as she had a banger match with Becky Lynch on Raw this week. I only saw the end part of it.
It was a good match.
So I feel like I need to rewatch all of this stuff. Dave Podner apparently is still awake. You got an early flight, sir. You need to go to bed. Hopefully you went to bed right after this. I learned that from last week's show. Bradley calves are made for slapping. We talked about Brianna Bands attacking Bradley at ringside. What Tina in Seattle has learned from wrestling, Jimmy is the Timmy Turner to Punk's and LA's Wanda and Cosmo. I've seen this reference several times. I do not like fairy godparents.
Yeah. I get.
Is that the reference?
I get. I get.
Okay.
I don't know if I like it.
Okay. If you know, you know. I don't know if I like it.
It's a weird story that they're doing because like none of them can actually go for the title because of the Crown Jewel stuff. So it's just like you'd think there would be a number one contenders match, but there isn't.
This is just like something to play with while we're in that number one contender purgatory.
Yeah,
they can all just hate each other for a while and be entertaining.
Spoiler alert: Survivor Series is next. Like, there ain't gonna be a title match on that, unless we're doing War Game.
You sure about that? For a title match, I don't know. I think there still could be. I don't know that there's signs that the champions would necessarily both be in the War Games at this point.
I don't think so. Well, maybe not.
But I could be wrong. But yeah, like I could see Seth's group being in War Games, but wow. God, what I learned from wrestling this week. Did I have any wrestling related experiences? Flamethrowers were fun. There's Dominic as a challenge. Is it on WWE Shop? Have we checked that yet? I think they can, right? Because I mean, like, why not, right? Oh, geez, Pete's Derby. No spoilers. So apparently some fun stuff's happened on Dynamite tonight. I'm just going to watch Dynamite at the regular time I watch Dynamite and just pretend it's just Wednesday. Probably. We'll see if social media lets me do that. So, because I'm not trying to watch it tonight because I am going to barely get these shows out for you guys. So, I learned that I need to watch Percy Jackson apparently because Adam Copeland's amazing in it. I have no interest in Percy Jackson otherwise, but apparently that's a thing I need to do. I also learned there's some things with storylines worse than professional wrestling, and that's rom-coms with 1 star on Amazon Prime. That's for Amazon, or that's for AwesomeCast for that explanation. I also learned that if you leave yourself logged in at an Airbnb, I'm going to watch wrestling on your YouTube account, and that's definitely not what you were watching in that YouTube account before, but it is now.
You should.
No, I didn't watch Lucha Underground, but I I should have. The thing that we didn't think about is we should have subscribed him to every one of our podcasts that we do and indie wrestling. So that was a miss on my part. I had the idea that we should have brought up one of those wrestling, like a wrestling match, that then it would play into the next wrestling match and just let that go overnight. And so really mess with their algorithm, right? So because sometimes I actually do that. Like sometimes, you ever like you watch a YouTube video and then you put your phone down and take your earphones out and put it on the charger, and then you didn't realize that the videos have been just auto playing in the background all night on silent, and you wake up and you realize your algorithm is like, I went where, so like. You woke, you just wake up and you're like, oh shit, my phone's been radicalized. So, because allegedly that's what YouTube does. So you get it. You know what I'm talking about.
You go from watching wrestling at one point to watching animals.
Yeah. To watching animals, watching those weird CG videos of Spider-Man doing weird things, and we're just like, who made this stuff?
Radicalized for a title.
My phone has been radicalized with Austin Cairns.
Yeah.
For Awesome Cast? It's too on the edge of being political, but yes, I think I will. So I think it's funnier if we just drop it on this. So either way, do you guys want to share anything that you learned this week? Mac, what'd you learn? Come on. You got a microphone in front of you.
I learned, I don't know if this is learning, but I thought it was fun that earlier there was wrestling on while we were getting stuff ready for the show, and one of the wrestlers.
You can call them characters. That's appropriate, actually.
One of the characters was wearing an anime-inspired outfit, and I thought that was really, really neat.
Which one was that?
I don't know their names. He's wearing like the white coat and like the chest
we need
was
to
open.
introduce you to Rhea Ripley as Vegeta and Sasha Banks as Sailor Moon.
I don't think we had the audio on for that. The
Rhea Ripley.
Who was
as
Vegeta for that one?
Sasha Banks as Sailor Moon.
There's actually a really strong anime contingent amongst the wrestlers, and you see that on the indies too. There's a lot of that, especially Will Ospreay will come out as Assassin's Creed a lot, and actually to the point where they actually have a sponsorship with him, and now he's in America. Kenny Omega has done. No, he does video games.
Yep.
He does Street Fighter though. Who's the New Japan? I thought somebody in New Japan did a lot of anime stuff too. Am I mistaken? That's probably true. But obviously Zelina Vega, Athena does some really good cosplay kind of stuff too.
Superhero related.
Rey Mysterio has been like, I don't know, every major comic book character for WrestleMania until he got a cease and desist. So, there's that. The demand with their One Piece jackets over on the Demand. Which one's the Demand? Why is that? That's a TNA thing? No, that's Ricochet. Actually, that's Ricochet's group. Sorry. Yeah. Anyways, on that note, thank you, Austin, once again. 2 Jagoffs podcasts.
Yes.
It's you and another random Jagoff.
Yep, another random Jagoff.
Yes. There'll be one. You're one of them.
I'm one of them. I'm Pittsburgh's favorite Jagoff.
And then there's a surprise Jagoff.
Usually a surprise Jagoff. I do have 2 intertwining hosts at the moment.
Okay.
My buddy Lucas Coons, and actually my dad is the other Jagoff. So we have 2 other Jagoffs that come on every once in a while.
There you go.
Yes.
Have you ever connected with Yet Jagoff?
We have not. No.
Okay, talk to Katie.
Okay.
So about that.
Noted.
That definitely.
That's my homework.
That should probably definitely happen. So they're good friends of ours in the show and everything. So, what's that? You're going to try to meet. You're trying to meet Harley Cameron. New York Comic Con. I had a brief brush with her in Philadelphia, and she seems delightful. Also, considering the company she keeps, probably very delightful. So, anyways, Mad Mike 4883 on the social medias. You're around. Dad Mike.
Absolutely.
Some places as well.
If you see me at New York Comic Con, you address me as Mad Mike. You get to chop me. Standard rules. This weekend.
When is that? Next week?
This weekend, y'all.
This weekend, man. I miss New York Comic Con so much. I got to make my way up there.
last year for for the first time non-COVID related reasons because I had child.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Those are good reasons.
New
so,
York Comic Con happened to be
Yes.
on my son's birthday weekend and my wife's anniversary weekend. So, good reasons to miss those.
Stay tuned for the Patreon if you have access to that. We will be, if you're on the stream on Patreon or if you're checking it out later, where I will be asking Mad Mike that when he takes his child to Comic-Con for the first time, what will be the father and son cosplay? Find out on Patreon. Guys, thank you so much. We'll see you guys next week. We got some interesting guests we're in talks with, some returning names that we haven't seen for a while, and I'm sure we'll be talking up things going into the big weekend next week on IndieWrestling.us. We'll see you guys next time. Mayhem out. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.